they normally do that?
They do that when they're doing a bunch of drama plays.
Okay, that works.
Like when the students doesn't open the door apparently, when there's a hog nearby, when a child speaks too loud.
She is actually one of our older animals. She doesn't look it because she's so small, but she's actually 13 years old. I know, she looks like she's 13 months old. Yeah, 13 years old. She is a female, so most of our sea lions that we have here are females. We have one male that shares the habitat with her back there. His name is McCoy. He is, you can tell how different they are. They're much bigger. Yeah.
That we watched the earlier show, and I was like, that's
That was
the same
McCoy.
one.
Yeah, that was definitely McCoy. So he's over 500 pounds. She barely made it past that. Yeah, just very little. The difference between the males and the females, yeah, is the difference. If you guys have questions, feel free to go ahead and shout. You have it? All right. So she is a sea lion. A lot of people get sea lions confused with seals. I'll clarify for you. Technically, you're not wrong. It gets complicated. Sea lions are what we call eared seals because of those ears. Yeah, ears. So she's got little check ears there. Yep, that's one way to tell her apart from other seals. So technically, you're not wrong. All sea lions are seals, but not all seals are sea lions. It's really I'll let you figure it out. It's okay. But one of the some of the main differences between her and seals, they've got those little striped ears. A lot of different species of seals, they only have this little pinhole, kind of like a dolphin's have, where ears are made internal. To point out another difference, so being a sea lion, she does not use her rear flippers like a dolphin or a seal to propel herself into the water. She uses the big, long, wing-like front flippers to do so. They're so powerful, you can kind of see it. She can balance her entire body weight on just those front flippers alone. So she will use her front flippers kind of like a bird or like a stingray for propulsion instead. There you go. You can take a look at those flippers. Very nice. She can reach speeds of about 25 miles an hour, so just like a dolphin. But you don't quite use it. She also has some very long and beautiful whiskers, which you want to get technical. She can actually control those whiskers, so she can move them around like you just saw. She'll use those. A lot of times you can see California sea lions shopper in the kelp forest. It can be very murky water in there, so they'll use their whiskers to figure out where they need to go. They don't have the echolocation like the dolphins. So they rely on those whiskers. They've got some very big, beautiful eyes, great eyesight above and below the water. And she is called a sea lion. She got her name from her voice. You guys want to hear her voice? Yeah. weird sounding. But you got a question? Yeah, 2 questions. What you got? Do we communicate with them? Absolutely. That's exactly what Peyton's doing. So we compare different behaviors with some of the hand signals you guys see us doing. They also can hear in a very similar tone to us, kind of like dogs would. So unlike the dolphins that hear at a much higher frequency, we only use the hand signals for them. For sea lions, their hearing range is closer to ours, so we can use those words and pair them with those different signals. It's her walrus behavior. So you guys also heard that the dolphins were using the whistle to tell them they did a good job because they hear a similar range. We can tell them the word good. That's the same thing that the whistle is. It's a bridge for us. It tells them they did something good. And you got a second question. And then I'm coming to you. What are what things? Balls? Balls? Well, the dolphins have a behavior where they can jump up and touch that. Sea lions can't quite jump that. What's your question? What's that white thing on her neck? Sometimes she rubs on the concrete, so it's just a way of her itching herself. A little rub? Yeah, just a little rub mark. They also will molt, so they will change their fur. Yeah, seals will do the same thing. So that could be her. Just like us scratching. Sometimes when you scratch, you're using this part. Very simple. Oh, on the face? That's just the color.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got it on.
Yeah, he was, but I was asking.
No, the one.
Turn it on.
Got it? I know. When we pulled up and saw that there weren't many people here, we were like, oh, yay!
I was going to say, definitely family right now. All day, we had like 4 different school groups.
Yeah.
Hundreds of kids.
Oh, yeah. So glad that we didn't come earlier then. I was so upset that we were running over. Yeah.
My name's together with the aquarists here, so we feed the cows and rays. We feed it lots of different things, but we'll do herring, silverside, shrimp, bacon, and then sometimes we will do squid, but that's more of an enrichment treat for them. Kind of like giving a dog a biscuit, giving a squid to stingray is very similar. We currently have 5 adults and 3 babies, and they were born here on site. People hanging out in our other smaller aquariums until they were big enough to come hang out with their parents. They usually range from 16 to 18 years old. The adults, for a female that's been in captivity is 21.
So do they have teeth?
They do, but they're slightly modified, so they're not individual teeth or pointy or anything of that nature. They have one on the top and one on the bottom, and they're called pressure plates. They're specifically designed so they can eat crustaceans like crabs and scallops or what have you. And it makes them very messy eaters, which is why we have the fishing rings in here. All the bony fish, like the black drum, black grouper, black really big guys. They're usually hiding and coming up right now. The white one, which is kind of cool. You all got to see them. And we have the sheep food, the black and white stripe. And then we also have red drum, which are the golden ones with the black spot at the bottom of the tail. This is Sparky, our second largest ray. Our other big ray is Elliot. And then the one with no tail at all over there, that's Mr. Nubbins. Mr. Nubbins was born that way.
About the ass, did he raise it in
No, he doesn't have a tail or a stinger.
Oh.
And there's no scar tissue back there. So that's why we believe it was going to happen during birth versus damage issue. They're very social creatures. Whereas a school of fish is called, a group of fish is called a school. A group of rays is called a fever. And when their numbers were all good. You can see fevers of upwards of 10,000 rays at a time. Unfortunately, now they are on our endangered species list as vulnerable status. And that's for a couple of reasons. One is bad stigma. A lot of people see stingrays and they think they're going to attack me, they're going to sting me, they're going to go after the fish I'm fishing for, they're going to hurt our fishing gear, yada yada yada. And then also something called bycatch. So when people fish in the Gulf and they go after a target species, they accidentally catch other things, and without the proper netting and things like that, it usually does not end up well for the bycatch animal. That coupled with the fact, that they do not reproduce very quickly, it takes 11 to 13 months for them to have a baby, and then they have one pup.
Oh, wow.
So when the numbers start depleting, it's very hard for them to get their numbers back up.
And do they have a live bird?
Yes.
We have what?
Live bird. Live bird.
Oh.
Being a regular part of the group called elasmobranchs, include rays and sharks. And elasmobranchs have a very cool sensory organ in their head called the ampullae of Lorenzini. And it allows them to detect small electronic pulses that all living things get off. And that way they can find those crabs and shrimp and stuff like that that are hiding in the sand. And because they're hiding on the sand, their gills are on the bottom, so you don't want to huff in all of that sand while you're breathing or hunting. They have something called spiracles, and then there's right behind their eyes, there's these little opening and closing ports. Those are the spiracles. So they actually pull in the water from those spiracles and then force it downwards up to their gill plates. That way they don't ever ingest or breathe any sand over their gill plates.
I think I've always thought that was the eyes, but it's not. The ones right in front of them are the eyes.
Yep.
See it now that they're moving.
And of course, they're mostly things. They do have a bar, but we trim them just like when I trim our fingernails. We can trim their bars. It doesn't hurt them. They might not be the biggest fan of us doing it. So there's like a toddler doesn't like its fingernails trimmed, but it doesn't hurt them in any way. And it regrows, so we do have to watch it. We are there just to see what the growth is out.
So would this size be considered a teenager, and this is the adult?
Yeah, so teenage and sub-adult.
How do you tell a male from a female?
So that is not my specialty. I'll tell you that right now. Mr. Tristan, do you know how to tell the difference between a male and a female rat?
It's basically their glasses. So at the very back of their bodies, near their tails, you'll see a pair of claspers behind all of our rays except for numbers. If our rays have claspers at the very back of their bodies, then it's a boy. But without those claspers, the rays are female. However, for in this pool, all of our stingrays here are boys. Just so that none of them try to out-compete.
We do have another elasmobranch in here.
With us here today are Indian lemmy. They are two sulcata tortoises. They're native to the deserts in Africa, so not usually found around here. They're more of a burrowing species, so they have these specialized scales on the front of their legs that help them to burrow as well as transverse real hot rocks, so they're not going to hurt themselves from it.
Cool.
Now, turtles all have shells with two parts to them. The top part here is called the carapace, while the bottom part down here is called the plastrum. And their shells are divided into these smaller sections that we call scutes. This is where some of the differences come in. Sulcata tortoises will have these layers of scutes that build on top of each other over the years. Aquatic turtles and sea turtles will actually shed off these scutes as they grow instead of just layering them. Here, I'm going to put her down just because she's a little bit heavy. Now, their shell is connected directly to their spinal cord. It's also,
I
yeah,
didn't
it's,
realize that.
yeah, it's fused with that, and it's technically part of their rib cage, so it's sort of an extension of their skeleton. This does